Hey everybody, welcome back to War Budgies. Welcome to Warcaster, Jericho Reach, episode 4. We're going to continue our unit showcase today. We're bringing in the heavy warjacks, which I'm super excited about. These were very cool models, and I'm really looking forward to how they perform on the tabletop. We're going to pick up from last episode. In our last episode, we found out that Taria is now the one in charge of the task force that has to hunt down this March of Worlds Warcaster that no one's been able to pin down for months on end. So we'll see how she handles that. Otherwise, remember to leave your comments below what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what you like, what you don't like. All the input is great. We've still got 6 episodes to go after this, so we look forward to having you along for the ride.
So it has fallen to you to find the Warcaster.
I don't know how. We've already found one of their camps, but by the time we get there, they'll be gone, and there'll be nothing but traps and fire.
The answer is arcanescence.
What do you mean?
For you, Paladin, arc is like a stone. It is given to you. You bludgeon your enemy with it, and that is all. For the Weavers, arc is water. They can guide it. They're nourished by it. They can direct it from its source to its target. But for a Warcaster, arc is as air. They breathe it. They are it. They mold it into song, into shouts, into commands. And they sense when it is turned against them.
Then tell me how I catch him.
You must catch him the way you caught me. Without your arc, without your warjacks, in silence.
Paladin, you're cleared for a silent approach to the Marcher camp. Units will stand down and wait for your signal. This had better work, Paladin.
Void gates charging. Stand by.
And we are back in the wilderness of Jericho Reach, where the Marchers have set up sort of an impromptu repair depot to handle their larger operations, such as this beefy old strike Raptor right here. The terrain itself is a foreground micro crane, I think is the name of it. I'll look it up. Anyways, the scenario we're going to use is the Dawn Raid scenario, which is from the First Contact Play organized play booklet. And here's our collection of ISA, which is actually growing quite a bit into some cool looking models here. We of course have our Paladin Commander Taria up front. We got Wells, the Paladin Weaver here on the side. Paladin Enforcers Squad 1 and Squad 2, the greatest heroes in all the land, with the Aegis attachment. As far as warjacks go, we're going to run the same jacks as before. We've got the Firebrand with Jackhunter Cortex, Sword and Shield, Harbinger Cannon. We got his buddy running the Reflex Cortex, I believe, because I keep getting that wrong. He's got a battle rifle with bayonet, grenade launcher, and the Immolator up top. And then the star of today's show. This is a new kind of unit that we're bringing out for this one. This is a Morningstar Heavy Warjack. And heavy warjacks are absolute monsters. They are 4 deployment costs, typically have about 4 health, and just a staggering amount of weapons. So taking a look at this, essentially he's kitted out much the same as his little Firebrand buddy, just way more dangerous. So he has an assault shield, he's got a heavy glaive on his other arm, starburst missiles, and a null cannon. Had to look up his Cortex. He is rocking a Defender Cortex, which allows him to essentially serve as a bodyguard and intercept attacks if he needs to. And here we have Team Team Marcher Worlds. Over here on the left, we have a Coalition Weaver, 2 squads of Ranger Fire Team, or 2 Ranger Fire Team squads, a Combat Engineer, and our Hunter is back. And they brought some heavy support with them. We'll get to him in a second. Our Duskwolf, the Thresher, is back with his rail rifle, his Ripper, and his little battle rifle adjustment under his arm. He is packing the Scout Cortex. And this is the new guy, the Strike Raptor. This is a heavy warjack. Much like the Morningstar, he's got 4 health, a ton of armor. He's packing 5 armor. Look at those shoulder plates. He's running the Ace Cortex, which is going to give himself a little extra range on all of his ranged weapons, of which he has 4. We're packing doubles. We got double Talon rockets on the top. Those are some blast weapons. And then a flamethrower under each arm. So he's pretty garbage in melee. He doesn't really have any options there. But he is an absolute monster at destroying anything with area of effect. And they're going to represent the Marcher worlds today in this little scenario. And the scenario goes like this. We have 3 objectives set up, 2 of which are normal strategic objectives. We have here Objective 2 and Objective 3, using our Studio M objective halos there to mark out the range. Those are going to function like normal objectives. So at the end of the scoring is at the end of the pulse round, and it's escalating. So into pulse round 1, whoever controls them gets 1 point, into pulse round 2, 2 points, so on and so forth. This objective in the middle is the weird one. The middle objective represents control of the defensive weaponry, which is all the fun stuff in these crates and attached to this little operation. So a warrior model, and only a warrior model, may control this objective. When they do, they gain access to a special attack action called defensive weaponry. It is an energy explosion, POW 5, range 16 attack, which, if you want to do the math, we're on a 30 by 30 board, so if you control the defensive weaponry, and you have line of sight, you can probably shoot them. This objective is also the deployment site for the Marchers as the defenders. They deploy within 3 inches of it. And at the end of every pulse round that the Marchers control it, they will receive 1 victory point. At the end of every turn that the ISA controls it, they will receive 3, because that is a seriously valuable position. Our deployment for the ISA, because of the narrative, we are ruling that Taria may not bring her warjacks to the initial, since they are trying to sneak up here, and multi-ton war machines are not that stealthy. So we've got Squad 2 and Taria over here on this side. Attacker is allowed to deploy up to 5 inches on both sides. So Squad 1 is tucked inside that tree, ready to make a play for this. Strike Raptor has a tremendous amount of firepower, so the hope is that they can come in from 2 angles, split its firepower, and then get their own reinforcements on the board. That's a lot of intro. We're going to update you guys at the end of every pulse round like we normally do. But for now, let's get into turn 1, Marcher World. First turn goes to the ISA, who will immediately charge the Strike Raptor. Not a whole lot of help from the Cypher cards right now. They mostly drew geometric cards, which will be useful later. Now we're going to go to activations. The Combat Engineer will shuffle a little bit closer, and he's going to use his special action to put a tune-up onto the Strike Raptor. That will give him +1 rat, mat, strength, and defense. And just to make a resounding first impression and show you guys kind of how dangerous the Strike Raptor is, you'll notice on his back there's a couple of engines there. Now he can't really get to anybody right now from where he is, but he's going to spike to add 3 inches and flight to his movement. So those engines are going to roar to life, giving him movement 9. And he's just simply going to swing out here and land thusly, right on top of that container. He is outfitted with 2 Talon rocket pods up there on his shoulders and 2 flamethrowers under the arms. So he's going to pour pretty much everything he's got into this group in front of him, starting with one of the rocket pods. He's normally Rat 4, going up to Rat 5. Okay, well, he was going to show off. I forgot, this is Squad 2 he's shooting at. They are in cover because of the cargo container between them. And block it. So he'll still take the blast damage of POW 4, but they have armor 4 thanks to compound armor, and this is an explosion. And it's a good thing they got that armor boost. Second rocket pod, same target. This fine individual right here. Going in with Rat 5. That's more like it, 6 strikes. Going for defense in cover. 1, 2, 3 strikes get through. POW 4, 3 strikes against armor of 4. And the first one's down. His battle buddy immediately to his right is going to take the blast damage. POW 4 against armor 4. He's okay. And Taria on his left is going to take the same thing. POW 4, armor 4. Oh, she's down. So they took cover from the first blast, but the second blast knocks him to the ground. He's going to rack up the flamethrower next, which is a spray weapon, so no cover. Still Rat 5. No, that was a clean miss. Guess the pilot light didn't start up on that one. Second flamethrower, same target. 3 strikes. Defense 3 because no cover. 1 strike gets through. POW 3 against armor 3 with red die. No, by a hair, he's okay. And by okay, I mean, of course, he's still on fire, but could be worse. That wraps up the Strat Raptor. Not a whole lot of help still from the Cypher cards. So the Marchers will drop a Void Gate off the Engineer, and will dump 5 full arc onto it. Marchers have no discards or draws, so we're going to move right into ISA turn 1. ISA Warcaster allots 1 charge to Squad 2, because there's no way they're going down in the first round without doing something in return. That something looks a lot like Reiteration Complex, which will allow them each to make an additional ranged attack on their turn. Being brave, selfless, and possibly foolhardy, they're going to move up there 6 inches. Get in position to both take some shots and possibly drop a gate right where the Marchers don't want it. And instead of shooting at the Strike Raptor, they're going to put their shots into the Engineer, try to bring him down. Guy that's on fire first, he's only on Rat 2 because he's on fire, but they do have a charge. That's some Squad 2 shooting right there. Engineer defense 2. 2 strikes get through. POW 4 with 2 red die, but the Engineer is armor 4. And takes a hit. And on fire, second shot. Oh yeah, see, there we go. He's suddenly realizing he's on fire. His wingman's gonna pick up the slack. He is not on fire yet. Yet. So he is shooting on Rat 3. 3 strikes. Defense 2 on the Engineer. 1. POW 4, 2 red die, aiming for 4 to drop him. And they drop him. I'm debating if that's worth another campaign medal. Vote in the comments, but we'll also see how these guys do because they're still alive. For Cypher card, ISA Warcaster is going to use Divination Algorithm on Squad 1 tucked in that tree. It's going to give them extra range on their guns so that when they're camping this objective, they can provide a bit more coverage towards the center. Squad 2 is then going to drop the gate as far up as they can, tucking it kind of into cover, hopefully. And they will likewise dump a full 5 arc into it. ISA will discard Annihilation Vector for now because there are other cards they want to see come up. And we'll move into turn 2, going back to the Marchers. Hey, Marchers plural was really just the one guy, so unfortunately for Squad 2, he's going to reload. He's also going to be awarded 1 arc charge because he is a good boy. Still not a lot of help from the Cypher cards. Hopefully there'll be more used next turn. But he is going to dump all his hate and discontent into these 2 guys and try to remove them from the board. I'm going to call it right here. If either of them survives this, they're getting a medal. Starting with the rocket pod. Rat 5 with an arc charge because he is still tuned up. Only 2 strikes. Squad is not in cover, so we're just running off 3 defense. 1 gets through. Rocket pod is POW 4 going against armor 4. And drops the first one. If the blast damage can hit the second one. It does. Well, you guys made a very heroic push forward and you dropped the gate, but now it's time to go take a nap. The remaining weaponry, since he still has all 3 of his other guns, is going to go into this gate, see if he can't burn off some of that arc. Other rocket pod, Rat 5, 1 charge. Beautiful. Gate has defense 3 and is in cover. And blocks it, alright. POW 4 blast damage rolling is armor 5. And he's fine. Flamethrower number 1. Good, another 5 strikes. Defense 3, no cover. Blocks, come on. Just 1. And just shy, all right. Second flamethrower. Also nice, very consistent, 5 strikes. Defense 3. No, nothing there. 5 red die and POW 3 going against armor 5. 1, 2, 3. All right, they take off 1 arc. It was a stupendous amount of firepower for a single arc. At the end of his turn there, he will hop down gracefully with a seismic thud that technically gives him a POW 2 hit. Rolling because you never know. Now he's fine. And finishes his 6-inch move here. That gains him an activation token, which the Warcaster will immediately remove with Impulse Inducer as the second cipher card of the turn. And it is time to get this party started, as this gate is going to dissolve all 5 Arc. Spits out a Duskwolf, a Ranger Fire Team, and a Coalition Weaver. Marches have done a very good job of fortifying this in the board. We're going to jump over to ISA for turn 2. Start of the ISA turn, they're going to put an Arc onto the Void Gate, pushing it back up to 5. Squad 1 is going to play the objective, running 6 inches forward. Landing on that little halo there. Thank you again, Studio M, for those. And his buddy's going to join him there, seizing control of Objective 3. 13 inches with their guns. They have a single shot at the Duskwolf, so why not? Let's send a message. Message is Rat 3. 2 strikes. Duskwolf is defense 3. Oh, it actually hits. Gonna break armor 4. They do get an extra POW because of divination algorithm. And they break armor 4. From across the gap, a blast and a ping, and a little piece of the Duskwolf falls off. Just to reward good behavior, and because I think it might be funny, we're gonna throw Aggression Theorem on him and do it again. And he do it. Rat 3. Oh wow, he's all fired up now. Defense 3 on the Duskwolf. What is happening right now? It's POW 5 with divination algorithm and 5 red die from that. Going against armor 4. Trying to shuffle this many dice in my hand is not easy. They killed it! He freaking killed it. I love this game. Alright, his Cortex snaps around and this dude crumples to the ground, somewhat insultingly, like 8 feet from the repair depot. You, sir, from Squad 1 there, you are getting a marksman ribbon. It's the ISA's turn to surge some reinforcements through the Void Gate, dropping a heavy warjack at DC 4 and a Paladin Weaver, his little friend. The Squad 1 will drop a gate 5 inches up, as far as they can go, ending up right back there, and as is custom and tradition with this many units, dropping another 5 Arc onto it. That wraps up ISA turn. Let's take a look at the board real quick, moving into turn 3. So at the end of this next set of turns, we'll be scoring. ISA's pretty well got the back one locked down. That will be worth 1 point at the end of the turn if they hold it. Number 2 is kind of up for grabs. Number 1 is obviously going to be the really tough one. At the moment, nobody holds it because all these units just arrived. They're all sitting an inch outside of the objective. Whoever controls it, and as a reminder, only warrior models can control it, whoever controls it is going to get access to all the defensive firepower. So let's see how we do rolling into the final turn, turn 3, March of Worlds. Moving into March of Worlds turn, they're going to put another Arc onto the Strike Raptor, because of course they are. And then kick off a displacement index onto the squad. Took a bit of careful pre-measuring, but archers were able to move the blue-haired individual up 3 inches and then put the next one with his toe on the objective, assuming he can keep it there. We know exactly what y'all have been waiting for. It is time to have the reenactment of Pacific Rim, mecha fight, big stumpy robots trying to break each other. A significant advantage towards the Strike Raptor at this moment in time. Essentially, the Strike Raptor is going to put everything he's got into the Morningstar. Everything is either blast or spray, so it should also be able to tag the Paladin Weaver. Starting with a rocket pod, 2 strikes. Morningstar defense 3 and in cover from the barrier. Blocks it. Now 4 against armor 5. Not a chance. Second rocket pod going in. They need to calibrate this guy. I'm starting to understand why he was in the little repair cradle. 3 strikes against. Blocks it again. Last damage against armor 5. Still nothing. An absolute storm of rockets impacting on this guy's shield. He hunkers down and waits it out. To rack up the flamethrower, he has a flamethrower on each arm, so we're looking at 2 attacks, and then it's going to be 2 more on the Weaver. First attack against the Morningstar. Rat 5 still, because tune-up. That's better, 5 strikes. Importantly, no cover against this one, only 3 die. Blocks 2, 3 get through. Gonna break armor 5. Armor 5 broken, 1 down, and he is on fire. Morningstar, like the other heavies, has 4 health on him. 3 health now. Same flamethrower tagging the Weaver. A lot of dice, that's good. 5 strikes. Weaver defense 3. Oh, 5 strikes get through. That does not bode well. Armor 3. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. The good news is you get a grand exit, little buddy. Final flamethrower attack. 3 strikes. And defense 3. 2 get through. Gonna break armor 5. Just barely, alright. 2 damage on the Morningstar so far. In case I haven't mentioned my favorite status effect in the game, he is on fire. Well, the Weaver is going to take his chances. He's going to hustle up to gain control of Objective 1. Since that is the defensive weaponry and no one else is contesting it, he is going to then fire the defensive weaponry at the squad in the back. Or rather, at that one guy on the edge. Shooting on Rat 3. 2 strikes is good. Squad in cover. Blocks it. This is a POW 5 blast weapon though, so going against armor 4 with 5 die. And he's alive. Weaver is going to drop a gate approximately here. And out of sight from the sharpshooter down there. And he will dump 5 arc onto it that I don't have in my hand. He'll dump 4 arc onto it because they want to be able to charge him up to full next turn. And that concludes March of Worlds' turn. What a freaking show that was. So they control definitely Objective 1 and Objective 2, even if only by a hair. Can't quite get the ISA off of Objective 3, but that's okay. The March of Worlds currently stand to gain 2 points at the end of this turn. Start the ISA turn, they're not going to charge anyone. And if you're wondering why, it's because there's only 2 arc in the bank, and they're going to Arcane Synthesis both of them onto the Morningstar. He's going to start off putting his Starburst missiles into this squad right here. Now he is on fire, so he's down to Rat 3, but he has 2 arc. And the fun thing about Starburst missiles is if he doesn't, since he's charged, if he doesn't like the result, he can re-roll the attack once. So let's see how he does. 5 strikes, he's going to keep that. Our team defense 3. 3 strikes get through. Break armor 3. Armor 3, hella broken. Now for the important one, the model whose foot is on the objective. 3 it is. And their buddy. Oh, he's alive. Deletes the target. Deletes the other guy. Shoot his null cannon into the Weaver standing next to him. Same type of deal. Rat 3 on fire, 2 arc. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 6 strikes. Weaver has defense 4. Oh boy. 5 strikes, POW 5, armor 3. We're looking for 6 strikes to kill. 6 strikes we get. Oh, and we remove an arc from his corpse, because, no. But now for the really tense part is both of the melee weapons are going to go into the Strike Raptor. Starting with the good old Shield Bash, Mat 3, 2 arc. Yeah, only 3 strikes. Strike Raptor's defense 2, armor 5. Blocks 2, so only 1 strike gets through. POW 4, 1 strike against armor 5. Not even close. Now for the big star of the show, the Heavy Fusion Glaive. This is a POW 6 melee weapon, and if he can hit, he can spike to inflict the system failure effect. So, Mat 3, 2 arc still, and 5 strikes. Defense 2. Only blocks 2, 3 strikes get through. Before we go any farther, he's going to spike 1 in order to do system failure and hope, I mean really, really hope, that he gets the ranged weapons. Got a proprietary budgie dice here. On a 1 to 3, it's going to be melee. On a 4 to 6, it's going to be ranged. And there it is, folks. Shoves the sword into his opponent, pulses some arc along it, and all 4 weapons shut down. Haven't even done the damage roll yet. So 3 strikes got through on a POW 6 melee weapon. Did I count that right? Yep. And we're going against armor 5 here. Trying to roll this without dropping all my die. Wow, all right, 1, 2, only 1 health? Incredible. Gotta hand it to March of Worlds, they make some sturdy stuff. And at speed 6, he's going to lumber this way. Part parking himself right here. That is mostly to severely limit the things that can come out of that gate. Final card is going to be Displacement Index, which Squad 1 will simply use to tuck themselves completely out of sight until somebody comes looking for them. And from the gate, once again dropping all 5 arc in order to bring on Warjack, both of the Firebrands in play, plus Paladin Commander. SA's next gate is actually going to come from their table edge, tucked way down here in the corner, 4 arc on it. Back that up a little bit. Per the scenario, it is 3 inches from the edge, not 5. That closes it out for Pulse Round. Let's take a look at some of the continuous effects. We've got a fire to resolve here, and we've got a weapons down or system failure, whatever it's called. Does the Strike Raptor's system failure effect resolve? It does. He's back in action. The Morningstar is on fire and has taken 2 of his 4 health, so if this comes up double strikes, the Morningstar is going down. No, Morningstar is okay. Taking a look at the scoring, nobody gets objective 2. Nobody gets objective 1 because only warrior models are allowed to hold objective 1. The ISA will pick up 1 point for holding objective 3 at the end of Pulse Round 1. So still a very interesting setup here. A lot of contention around the middle. So far they're having a really hard time holding onto the center here. We got warjacks in play, but as before, this scenario is not super great for jacks because you kind of need that objective in the middle in order to pull out the win. Or do you? We'll find out, moving into Pulse Round 2. Moving into the Marcher World's turn, the Warcaster is going to take the Wrath and Fury lever on the Strike Raptor and move it all the way to the maximum setting. Not much up from the Cypher cards this turn, so Strike Raptor is going to stomp 6 inches this way. Scoot all of his little stuff along behind him. Actually, I ran into a bit of a question there. So the tune-up, I think I have to roll to see if that expires. I hadn't thought about it before because it's the only one I know of that's a buff and not a debuff. But it is with the other continuous effects, so we're going to roll real quick to see if it expires. It will expire on a blank. It does not expire. If you are more rules savvy than I am, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Otherwise, with his Ace Cortex, he's now got 12 inches of flamethrower range. So we're going to aim straight through the Morningstar and into the other Firebrand. Still on Rat 5 with 3 arc going against the Morningstar. Lots of strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 8 strikes. Morningstar defense 3. 2 strikes. Gonna break armor 5. Armor 5 broken once. 2, 3, 4, 5. Broken once. And such as the wave things, he's back on fire. We're going to come back to him here in a second because he's going to use a nifty little trick out of his sleeve. But first we have to resolve the attack on the Firebrand. Rat 5, 3 arc. Oh, wow. Dude, that's 9. 9 strikes. Spray attack, still ignoring cover. Blocks 3, takes 6. Break armor 4. Good lord. That's 1. That's 2. He aimed just short of outright one-shotting the Firebrand. As a reminder, that was the first of 4 guns. But the Morningstar has been targeted and hit by an enemy attack, so he will use Impulse Reciprocator, it's one of his innate abilities, to spike, and he can make an immediate attack. He's going to fire his Null Cannon into the gate right in front of him. Still on fire, so Rat 3, no arc. Nice, 4 strikes. Gate defense 3. 1 gets through. It will immediately remove 1 arc. Null Cannon is POW 5. 1 strike got through. Armor 5. Just enough. Knocks a 2nd arc off that gate. But that's enough of the happy fun time. It's time for flamethrower number 2. Morningstar first. Hitting a whole bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 strikes again. Flamethrowers are some nasty business, I'm telling you. Defense, not enough. It'd probably be a foregone conclusion, but I like rolling dice. Morningstar down. The first of the heavies collapses into the earth. And throw into the Firebrand. Getting a bunch of hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Defense 3. Not good. Gonna break armor 4. Oh yeah. 2 for 1 on the flamethrowers. Firebrand is down. Still has a rocket pod, so first rocket pod is going to go into the other Firebrand. Rocket pod coming up. Good showing. See, the Strike Raptor was kind of lousy in the first turn, but he's doing okay now. That's 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Firebrand in cover. Okay, decent. 5, so 4 strikes. Firebrand is armor 3. Oh, wow. 2, 4, 6. He's done. He's friggin' done. Wow. Yeah, that's math. This Strike Raptor is fixing to single-handedly win the Reach. Last damage going against the Commander at armor 4. And she's okay by a hair. He does not have line of sight to her to fire the second rocket pod. Right, well, cast your vote for MVP in the comments below. This, ladies and gentlemen, he's taken 1 point of damage this entire game. Nothing super useful in the cipher card, so this gate is going to spit out a Hunter and a Weaver over here by this fairly critical objective. One surviving warrior model will drop a gate just back here, tucked against his barricade, with 4 arc on it. Absolutely astounding turn for the Marchers. I really thought that the ISA was fixing to drop a hammer blow there, but the hammer just broke. The only one left is the commander back there. So let's move into ISA. By the ISA turn, Warcaster is going to charge the commander with 1 arc. Hopes that she's going to do something bold and totally not stupid here in a minute. Going to play Plexus Densifier on squad 1 there in the back, mostly just to cycle it out of the hand. Squad specifically is just going to rearrange themselves a little bit. Keep it fun on the objective, but make sure nobody can tag them with blasts from where they are. Paladin Commander will move up 6 inches, which is conveniently exactly the length of this piece of terrain. Come up around here with her 1 arc. And she'll put her sword into the Hunter. We'll try to put her sword into the Hunter. Mat 4. That's a good try, 4 strikes. Hunter's defense 4. 2 strikes go through. For 2 strikes to kill. And he's down. Respawn, despawn. And her shoulder fire pulse cannon is going to go into the Weaver. At 4, 1 arc. 2 strikes. Defense 4. Blocks it. Takes the base POW 3 hit against armor 3. Nothing happens. Cap it off. Warcaster is going to play Encrypted Command to remove her activation token. So very careful decisions to be made by the ISA right now because, let's face it, the commander's probably getting deleted. Maybe? I don't know. It depends on if the March Wars have Impulse Inducer or not. Otherwise, these guys, Squad 1 is doing a great job of hunkering down there and playing the whole duck and cover Cold War drill. So the question becomes what to summon out of these 4 arc, which is relatively protected but kind of out of the way. And there's a couple of options there, but since the Strike Raptor really needs to go away, I think there's really only one solution to this. If you guessed Morningstar, good job, you guessed correctly. Paladin Commander is going to drop a gate right back here and load it with maximum 5 arc. ISA discards a Fury card because the Weaver can't stay alive for 10 seconds straight. And we are on to Marcher Worlds turn 2. All the Marcher Worlds arc is on the board, so we're going to skip straight past that. The Weaver is going to fire off Pyrokinetic Surge into the Paladin Commander. Focus 4, no arc in the tank. 1 strike. Defense 3 in cover. And she's fine. We'll try to rectify that problem post-haste. Shuffle up to the objective. If you're wondering why there's no cover around the objective, it's because I think it's funnier that way. And he's going to use his special action to fire the defensive weaponry at the commander. Rat 3 on the Weaver. 1 hit. He's not going to have cover from this angle. She blocks it, we'll take the POW 5 hit. 5 against armor 4 for compound armor. And just by a hair, she's fine. More importantly though, the Marcher Worlds are back in control of objective 1. This little guy down here is going to shuffle up, put a foot on the objective, and give them control of objective 2. Weaver's going to try again with Velocity Projector this time to try to delete the commander. Focus 4, no arc. Clean miss. And from this 4-arc gate, guys march for World Squad 2, an engineer, and a hunter. The Weaver then drops a 3-arc gate back here behind the strut. Starting to think about moving up towards that objective 3 to the north. The stalemate kind of grinds on, not a whole lot happened there. We had some ricochet furies off of the commander's shield. She survived a blast. She's holding up like a champ. Moving into ISA turn. ISA turn, as one might imagine, is going to begin by charging the Morningstar. Really followed by one of my absolute favorite ciphers ever, Ascension Catalyst. It's going to give the Morningstar 8 inches move. Ignoring vertical distance, he's going to land right on top of Objective 2. As a reminder, they can control that. The only one that warjacks can't control is the one in the middle. And he's going to start off, he's got a good saturation of targets here. He's going to start off by putting the null cannon into the Strike Raptor. To remind myself that he's Rat 4 because he's been on fire this entire game. 1 arc. Beautiful hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikes. Strike Raptor defense 2. Blocks half it. We'll go ahead and drop 1 of his arc because he was tagged by a null weapon. 3 strikes got through, a PAL 5. That's enough for 1 point of damage. Bringing him down to half of his 4 health. His Starburst missile pod is going to, perhaps unsurprisingly, go into the engineer so that he stays at half health. At 4-1 charge, he is charged with a Starburst, so he's allowed to re-roll this if he doesn't like the result. Once at least. He doesn't like the result. We're going to re-roll because of Starburst missiles. Come on, big money. That is much, much improved. Holy crap. 8 strikes. Combat Engineer's defense 2. He does not get to re-roll anything. 8 strikes, POW 4, he is armor 4 with 2 health. So on 8, he's down. Let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, yep, he's down. You made a good dramatic entrance, buddy. Now it's time to go away. Problem with that is the defense 2 Hunter's about to take a POW hit. Oh, he's alive. And the Poor Fire Team Ranger standing next to the engineer. He is also alive. It's all well and good because the objective, the engineer, is out of play. So now it's going to be Shield Bash into the Ranger. At 4. Plenty of good hits there. Defense 3. Not enough. Shield Bash into the Ranger, armor 3. I'm not going to try to make the sound effect for that, just use your imagination. And he goes into the fence, and quite possibly through the fence. That fully eliminates that squad, but he has no one in target range for his sword. Bummer. But he did good work. He now holds that objective, took another health off of the Raptor, took an arc off the Raptor, and deleted the engineer. So, could have been better, could have been worse. Speaking of which, our solo activation, the Paladin Commander is going to run up and try to shank the Weaver off the objective. 4 with 1 arc. 3 strikes. Weaver defense is 4. 2 strikes are through. Now 4 against armor 3. Yeah, he takes 1 health, has 1 left. Now, she was really hoping to get rid of him there, but maybe that'll save her from the flamethrowers. Or they'll just cook the Weaver too, they don't care. Shoulder fire cannon will go into this nearest Ranger. Strike that, different target. Shoulder fire cannon will go into the Strike Raptor. Rat 4 with an arc. 4 strikes, not bad. Strike Raptor defense 2. 3 strikes get through. Pulse cannon is only POW 3, but we have 3 strikes here, aiming against armor 5. Hey, there we go. There's another one down. Bringing the Fire Raptor, the Strike Raptor to his last health. ISA starting to get real glad that Engineer is nowhere to be found right now. This would be an absolutely great moment to have a aggression theorem, try to get that final shot off at the Raptor, but alas, we do not have in the deck. We do, however, have Impulse Inducer, so it is time. Reset the clock. It's going to be Warjack clock again next turn. And the gate over here is going to brighten up, spits out a Firebrand Squad 2 and an Aegis attachment to them, so that is 5 arc come running out. Paladin Commander is going to counter gate the other gate, putting a, let's say, 4 arc gate right back here. So there's the ISA coming back from a serious shortfall in the points there. They now control this, have the Morningstar back in play and ready to roll. We got reinforcements pouring out of this side, fighting over the center objective. So at the moment, the ISA holds both of these strategic objectives and nobody holds the center. Moving on to our next turn. And moving into Pulse Round 3, the Marcher Worlds are going to make a play to seize these lower objectives. The problem is, of course, the Morningstar is sitting on that one. So the Warcaster is going to charge the Ranger Fire team and is then going to drop Reiteration Complex on them to give them each 2 shots with their rifles. First shot's coming in at the Morningstar on Rat 3 with 1 arc. Solid opener, 3 strikes. Morningstar's defense 3, only blocks 1. It's POW 4, 2 strikes, trying to break armor 5. And they take a chunk off, just enough. The Morningstar is going to respond in a completely reasonable manner by spiking to use his Impulse, Retributor, whatever it's called, and it's going to fire his missile pod into his assailants. It's going to be on Rat 4, no arc because he just spiked. 3 strikes. Versus defense 3. Oh, it gets through, 1 strike. Target is the center fire team member who has not fired yet. So 1 strike, POW 4, trying to break armor 3. Armor 3 broken. This all seems like a horrible idea all of a sudden. Blast damage on the first Ranger who has already fired 1 shot. He's fine. And on the second Ranger, armor 3, he's also fine. The squad still has 3 more bullets, which they will use to try to avenge their comrade. Second shot coming in. 4 strikes. Defense 3 on the Morningstar. Only blocks 2. Gonna break armor 5. And they break it again. Shot number 3. These guys are good shots. 5 strikes. Morningstar defense actually blocks that one. Finally got that shield around in time. And our final shot. 4 strikes. Defense 3. And he blocks it. Overall, a pretty good showing for the fire team. They are somewhat not as effective as they wanted to be. And unfortunately, what this means is their movement, they're going to have to run up here and each put a foot on the objective. They're undoubtedly going to be the recipient of some hate and discontent there. But honestly, if maybe his dice won't spike, maybe theirs will spike, and they can keep that objective away from him. While the Hunter is going to launch some bullets into the Paladin Commander. Rat 6, because Rangers are absolute psychopaths. Good one, 5 strikes. Paladin Commander. Only 2 get through, but it might be enough. All right, POW 4, 2 strikes, looking to break armor 3 twice, hopefully. Not even once. But having resolved a ranged attack, he will take his free 3-inch move up to here. And then we'll hustle 7 inches around to this side, get some cover. The Strike Raptor is going to use Aggression Theorem as our final cipher, fire his flamethrower into this whole nonsense. He kind of wants to shoot the Paladin Commander, but honestly, if she goes down, then someone's just going to run over and pick up the objective. So for maximum damage, he's going to fire into this. He'll get the Firebrand and 1 of the Paladins. That's kind of the best he can do without moving. Throw against the Firebrand. 1, 2, 3, 5 strikes. Firebrand defense 3. Wait for it. Wait for it. Saved it. Against the Paladin. Yeah, that's probably not good news. If the 9-ton warjack can do it, so can I. No. Break armor 3. And breaks. Good luck of the dice for that one. Lose 1 Paladin, otherwise they are fine. The gate here in the back has 3 arc on it. We'll expend that to place an engineer and a dusk wolf because someone is going to have to go clear out this squad. They're being kind of annoying. Drops a gate over here, loading it with all the arc left in the well. 4 arc, gearing up for Pulse Round 3. That turn did not really go the way the Marcher Worlds were hoping. The ISA still exists on both objectives, but since people are on him, nobody holds them. So it's going to be up to the ISA to remove the Weaver and remove the Rangers from this in order to hold all the objectives. Unfortunately, the ISA does not have a wealth of activations because the only solo on the board has already been activated and they don't have the card to fix that. So, priority is get rid of the Weaver because that central objective for the attackers is worth 3 points. This one, at the end of the turn, is only worth 2 points for this turn. So, the plan is charge the Firebrand, the newly arrived one. It has a delightful side effect of extending the range of his weapons 1 inch. And he will come to stand right here on this grate. And he's got a relatively limited number of tries to get rid of that Weaver, and if he's very lucky, maybe bring down the Raptor. Because John forgets things sometimes, we're going to use Momentum Calibrator on him. So when he hits something with an equal or smaller base, he has a chance to slam them directly away. First attack is going to be the Shield Bash into the Weaver. Mat 4, 1 arc. That is not wonderful. Defense 4 on the Weaver. Blocks it easily. Bring his Harbinger Cannon next, because he really wants to save that sword for the Raptor. 1 arc, Rat 4. That is substantially better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 7 strikes. Defense of 4. Maybe, buddy. You just might. Number 3 against a POW 4 Harbinger Cannon. He's down. Ducks under the shield, but then gets kablooied by the cannon. That's a medical term, don't Google it. Now we're going to turn and put the sword into the Strike Raptor. To make this guy good and dead, we're going to spike to activate the Jack Hunter Cortex, giving an extra 3 die on this attack. The Mat 4 plus 3 die for Jack Hunter, but no arc on this one. Oh, mistakes were made. Raptor is defense 3, by the way, because his tune-up gave him an extra defense. I've been forgetting that this whole report, and I realized that while I was editing Pulse Run this morning. So, sorry about that. March of Worlds, players, you filthy rebels. Defense 3. Oh, 1 gets through. This could be it. Per Momentum Calibrator, we're going to roll a number of dice equal to the strength of the Firebrand, which is 4. And we're going to slam the model back 1 inch for every strike we rolled. We need at least 3 strikes to get him into the fence and add a power die to the damage roll. So here we go, looking for 3 or more. That is definitely more. He swings the sword around, bashes him back, he slams into the fence. That will give us another power die on the damage. So here it goes, POW 5, 1 strike, and then the shield bat, or the slam, trying to break armor 5 and finally put this guy down. And just barely gets him. What an absolute champ. Finally gets tangled up in the fence, tries to free himself, and powers down slowly. SA doesn't have anything super exciting in the terms of Cypher cards right now, and honestly, they're just kind of breathing a sigh of relief that that stupid Raptor is off the board. And on the back, expends 3 of its 4 arc to spit out the other Firebrand and the Paladin Weaver. The commander will drop a 3 arc gate over here in the barrels. That will close out Pulse Round 2. Absolute nail biter there. Unfortunately for the Marchers, this gives the ISA a huge lead. They will receive 3 points for finally controlling the middle objective, 2 points for controlling that back objective, this is Pulse Round 2, and nobody controls this one because the Morning Star will not be moved, although he will be slowly shipped away. So that will bring the ISA's points to 6 versus the Marcher World still a goose egg. So the Marcher strategy at this point is going to have to rely on seizing both the top and bottom objectives while denying the ISA access to the middle. And that will at least tie up the game and bring us to a draw. Because remember that the middle objective is only worth 1 point for the Marchers. So if they can control all 3 objectives, then they'll win the game by a point. That strategy is going to begin with charging the Dusk Wolf up with 1 arc, and giving him Divination Algorithm to get +1 range and POW on his weapons. The Engineer is going to go first. He's going to drop the tune-up onto the Dusk Wolf, because that has been super useful so far. And then he's going to come lumbering down to here to contest this objective number 1, so that the Paladin Commander can't use it to start throwing around blasts. The Dusk Wolf is going to go next, lumbering its way up around to say hello to Squad 1, who's been fairly well sheltered this whole time. That's all about to change, beginning with the Ripper. Ripper is, we've got 1 arc, mat 4 plus tune-up, 3 strikes, defense 3. Only 1 gets through. Ripper is a POW 4 going against armor 3. Drops the first one. Ripper has cleave, so he'll immediately make a second attack on a target within 2 inches. Excellent. Defense 3 still. Only 2. POW 4. 3 strikes, and he's out. Another one down, leaving just 1 survivor who is not instantly on the objective. Let's go putting his battle rifle into the survivor. Rat 5 now. Splendid set of hits. 3 defense. Oh, excellent defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blocks it. Well, he's really hoping to save the Mark II problem solver for something a little juicier, but honestly, if they can get rid of Squad 1, then they'll essentially hold the top objective without challenge, as long as the Dusk Wolf doesn't blow up. So here we go again. At 5. Rail rifle into the survivor. Good shooting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Defense 3. This is going to sting a little bit. 4 strikes, POW 6 from divination algorithm. Deletion. And he pretty unequivocally holds that objective. No Weavers on the board, which is unfortunate because they've got several really good Furies sitting around. So we're going to move to Gates. In what is probably the least surprising turn of events of this game, it's time for Strike Raptor again. Ranger's going to try something. They will drop a gate down here close to them and load it with, say, yeah, might as well do 4 arc, just to make sure it sticks around. That is Marcher's turn 1, so the challenge is set. Objective 3 is finally in Marcher hands, and on the turn it's worth 3 points. So unless that Dusk Wolf goes away, that is probably going to remain a Marcher World's objective. Tanguing in the middle, so they do not have control of the defensive weaponry, and things are starting to get intense down here, and by intense, I mean Strike Raptor. Let's see how the ISA answers this challenge, moving into their turn 1. For the ISA turn, they're going to collapse this gate, bringing that 1 arc back into the well. And we're going to use Arcane Synthesis to fully charge the sword-bearing Firebrand. Why? Because if you're not watching giant robots stab each other, you are not watching Warcaster. Gonna get right to the point. Let's go lumber forwards. And we are going to try to duel before this Strike Raptor can get all charged up. Hunter Cortex is going to immediately spike just to get those 3 extra action die on all his attacks this activation, at least the ones that target another Jack, which they will. All right, we're going to use the shield first. We've got Mat 4 plus Jack Hunter for 3 more die, and then the 2 arc charge. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Versus defense 2. Blocks 2, 6 strikes get through. Bash is only the POW 2 because he really doesn't care about the repulsor effect right now. So a bunch of dice trying to break armor 5 though. And just barely gets 1. Harbinger Cannon next, same target. Kind of attack roll, bunch of dice. Shuffle them as best I can. That's only 5. Will it be enough? 3 get through, it might be. POW 4 in the Harbinger Cannon, 3 strikes got through. Armor 5, and again, just barely clicks off 1 armor. I feel like this whole battle report is just a big endorsement for the Strike Raptor. The Marcher Worlds did not pay me, and I wouldn't accept their money anyways. Let's see if the sword can finish it off. Oh, that is not a good roll. 3 strikes. Strike Raptor defense. Only blocks 1, so 2 of them get through. 2 strikes got through, plus POW 5 on the sword, trying to bring him down. That's not going to do it. He will spike to use his little shorting out thing, whatever it's called. So on a 1 to 3, the melee weapons will fail, of which there are none. And 4 to 6, the ranged weapons fail, of which there are a bunch. So ISA wants to see a 4 to 6. They don't get it. It was a resoundingly cool moment. He just soaked up all that stuff. That was full charge. Jack Hunter. Man, that was crazy. So he's down to half health and none of his melee weapons work. Since he didn't bring any, he really doesn't care. Paladin's going to go next, putting the sword into the engineer. 4, 1 arc charge. Now, see, that's how you do it. That is 6 strikes. 6 strikes against defense 2. 5 strikes go through. All right, trying to break armor 4 twice. Did she do it? Not quite. Came up with 7, needed 8, but still took him down to half health. You then fire her shoulder fire pulse cannon, not into the engineer, but down into these guys. At 4 with a charge. 4 strikes. Intended target. Only blocks 1. 3 strikes get through. Pulse cannon is POW 3 against 3 armor. He is down. His buddy is not down. He's still up. And the Morning Star is fine. That's at least 1 fewer problem to deal with. With the understanding that they really need to remove the Strike Raptor, the Weaver is going to use Pyrokinetic Surge, now that he's been on the field for more than 10 seconds, and try to set him on fire. Focus 4, 2 arc in the tank. Ooh, good shot for 7 strikes. Defense 2 on the Strike Raptor. 5 strikes get through. That was a good shot. POW 3, 5 strikes. Oh, good lord. That is 1, 2, 4, 5. He killed him. He killed him. That's... Oh man, that was a clutch freaking move right there. Strike Raptor stumbles back, taking the hit, standing up, and then suddenly bursts into flames, as Wells peeks around the corner looking very satisfied with himself. Our 3 arc gate spits out squad 1, and squad 2 will drop a 2 arc gate here, just kind of as an insurance policy. Most everyone from ISA is currently on the board. We'll see how long that lasts, with the exception of 1 member of squad 2. That was overall a pretty good turn. So got rid of the Strike Raptor. That was an absolute miracle of a shot from the freaking Weaver there. The Morning Star still has an opponent here, but unless he gets really, really lucky, he's not going to take 2 health off this guy. So the ISA just has to hold, honestly, they just have to hold this one, would be priority, and they'd like to hold that one as well. Let's move into Marcher World's turn 2. Marches will drop an arc onto the Hunter. And we use encrypted command just because nothing else is really available, and they want the engineer to be going next turn. This guy is going to be a big friggin' hero and is going to try to stab this thing's shin, because crazier things have happened, to be honest with you. He is MAT 3 with a charge. Probably not today. Defense 3. Yeah, blocked it. But really, he's just going to swing around the back just to make sure he's not in range of that Paladin Commander's rifle anymore. Hunter is going next. He's going to put shots into the Paladin Commander. At 6 with an arc charge. Oh my god. He doesn't even have cover. It still blocks it. We cut him a little bit of slack though because he did just watch the Strike Raptor get vaporized out of nowhere. So he's going to use his 3-inch move there, and he's done for now. Really hoping to maybe drop the commander and possibly chip off a little bit of this, so that was a whole lot of nothing. Cypher cards are still mostly Furies, and all the Weavers are dead. So we're going to go straight to Gates. And as you might imagine, in the brown corner, essentially this is going to be their last ditch play to seize this objective. If the Strike Raptor can knock this guy off of it and then walk over and step on it, then ISA is probably not getting rid of him this pulse round. There's no point to placing a gate on turn 2 of the pulse round 3, so they're not going to. On the ISA side of the house, Warcaster is going to charge the other Firebrand, the shooty one, with an arc. We'll give him Ascension Catalyst because we have cycled through the deck entirely, meaning that this guy, I'm trying to trip over my light here, is going to take off, soar overhead, and land squaring up with the Dusk Wolf. He's essentially got 1 full round of attacks to get rid of this thing, otherwise they're probably never getting that objective back. MAT 4 for the Assault Rifle Bayonet with 1 charge. 3 strikes. Dusk Wolf defense 3. Blocks it. Assault Rifle itself, RAT 4. A little bit better, 5 strikes. Same defense. Only 1 gets through. This thing's putting up a fight. Tune-up. My bad. He blocks it. I remember things sometimes. Going in with, let's say, the Immolator next. You need another die there. Oh, that's more like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Defense 4 with tune-up. Blocks it. All All right, well, he's really only got the one trick left, so grenade launcher at very, very close range, not ideal. But at least he knows he'll get the blast damage through. There we go, 1, 2, 3, so 5 again, very consistent. Defense 4. Oh, wow. Unfortunate, it's only POW 3. Still, whoop, I'm missing a red die. I need 5, don't I? All right, 5, there we go. Coming in, we're trying to break armor 4. 2, wow, all right, excellent. 2 of his 3 health off. And where was that earlier? Holy crap. 3 back on the Firebrand, who's armor 3. He's fine. Paladin Weaver's gonna duck out of cover. Hustle up over here, about 6 inches. And he's gonna put some pistol shots into that guy. Actually, he's gonna put pistol shot into the engineer. So rat 3. 2 strikes, defense 2, 2 strikes through. You know, this was intended as sort of a, hey, why not? But hey, if it works. Trying to break armor 4 on POW 3. Not quite. That was not the point of moving him. The point of moving him was a velocity projector into the Duskwolf. Focus 4, 2 arc in the tank. Big money, all right. 2, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 strikes, the Duskwolf is going to get cover from the container there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're in business. 2 strikes get through. Nope, had tune-up dice. Let's see. Nope, tune-up didn't help. Velocity move does not quite have enough range to push him all the way off the objective, so we're going to hope that this blows him up. Let's see if this blows him up. That will probably be it for the game because they will hold, ISA will hold objective 3. Which will be worth 3 points by itself and no way for Martial World to get them off. So let's see, we got to break armor 4 with a POW 4 and 2 red die. Place your bets in the comment below, I'll give you a second. Or you just look at the duration of the video. Coming in. Wait for it. Oh, he's alive. Game is messing with my blood pressure. All right, he is alive and still on the objective, so that one is contested. With everything getting tense, we are going to move into the final round. So unfortunately, I was looking through the deck, or the rack for the Martial Worlds, they do not have Impulse Inducer, and they don't really have a way of reactivating that guy. So he can deny that objective, but he cannot hold it. So they can seize up to 4 points, and that's it. That being said, we're going to go ahead and run the Martial Worlds turn, because maybe some cool stuff's gonna happen, and it's gonna look very pretty. Going for the moral victory here. Going to drop 1 arc onto the engineer. Play Arcane Synthesis to dump the remaining 3 arc onto the Strike Raptor. Engineer is going to try to hit Taria in the head with a wrench. I'm not even joking. His melee weapon is a wrench. At 3, 1 arc. That's a solid wrench. 6 strikes. Defense 3. Nothing. POW 4, which by the way is the same POW as Taria's sword, so I don't know what they make wrenches out of in the Martial Worlds, but I'm impressed. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and she's down. Drops the commander. His fusion torch he will shoot into Wells. Rat 3. 3 strikes. Actually, I almost messed up there. His fusion torch is a high intensity rule, so since he is charged, he gets an extra power die on that one, giving him an extra strike, so 4 strikes total. Today's just the day for John to almost catch himself breaking the rules. Defense 3. Blocks 2, 2 get through. POW 3, 2 red die. 1, 2, 3, all right, that's 1 health. At least for the moment, the marchers control that objective. Now we're gonna play the game, how much damage can the Strike Raptor do in 1 shot? With a rocket pod into the center of squad 1. Rat 4, 3 arc. Hey, he's back in business. Defense 3. Only blocks 2. Throwing a bunch of dice at the problem. Problem solved. POW 4 hit, Paladin on his left. No, he's not down. Armor 4. Paladin on his right. He is also okay. This guy just kind of vanishes in a puff of family-friendly smoke. Flamethrower into the Morningstar. A bunch of dice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikes. Defense 3. Blocks 2, 4 get through. Armor 5. There you go, there's another one down. And he's on fire. Second flamethrower, same target. 3 strikes. Defense 3. Oh, doesn't block any of them. Or 5, can he do it? He can just do it. Morningstar's flaming wreck crumples to the ground. And his last rocket pod will target Squad 2 member right there in the front. Rocket pod coming in. 2, 3, 4. Excellent. 5 strikes. Defense 3. Okay, only 2 get through. Coatings armor 4. He's down. Buddy right behind him is okay. The Aegis up top of the container is not okay. That removes you and removes you. It gives him free license to simply walk onto Objective 2, where nobody will dislodge him from it for the next 6 years. That's where we're going to call it. This is going to be it's a good moral comeback for the Martial Worlds, but they simply cannot keep up with ISA. And I say that because we still have an aggression theorem and an impulse inducer showing in the rack. So he could probably dispose of his opponent relatively quickly, but even if he can't, even if we ended the game right now, the Marchers are up 4 points to the ISA 6. So Taria has successfully disrupted the depot and engaged them in a pitched battle before they could run away. Lawgiver, this is Taria. We've secured the depot. They didn't have time to burn anything. We've got communications codes, equipment. I think we've got some answers. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned 2 weeks from now for the next episode. For all of you AC players out there wondering what the cult has been up to since we last saw them, your questions will be answered next episode. So thanks for joining us. Look forward to seeing you in episode 5 of Jericho Reach.